Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will see the design and development of this beautiful dashboard from start to end in Tableau software. So our today's topic is HR Analytics Dashboard. So the data which I will be using for this particular development, I will add a link for you to download in the description box from where you can download and you can practice in your own system by following this video. So our today's topic is HR Analytics Dashboard. So where is this dashboard guys used mostly? So this is very much used in all the HR departments of any company. So from this dashboards, what does the HR department what we can say take insights, right? So they will come to know by using this dashboard like how many are the head count of the total employee right now with them, like the active employees, and what is the attrition every month, how many people are leaving every month in every year. So from there they can calculate the attrition rate. They can see the department wise how many peoples are leaving, how many peoples are very much loyal and they are working from last how many years, right? So what is like the employees which are working, like what are their age bands, or what from like what is their average age, whether they are young, whether they are within 30s or within 40s or above 40s, right? So this all this information they can you know they can analyze with respect to the gender as well. All right. So this dashboard we will be designing in our this video, so you can follow the same and you can design in your particular system. All right. So this dashboard is completely dynamic, guys. We have used one interactive filter here. We have also used some action filters as well. So I have used only one filter. Depending upon your choice, you can use many more filters here. So you can see if I'm operating this filter with respect to that, the data is changing with respect to that particular education field, and we can see the data with respect to that, right? So we can dig down the data, we can go into the granularity of that particular data, and we can find some insights for the HR department. All right. So we have this, we used one quick filter. We have also used that action filter. So whenever I'm clicking on any of the department, let's say I'm clicking on sales department, so it will give me the data of all the sales department data, right? Similarly for R&D department, then we have HR department. All right. So we also have education field wise attrition, like let's say there are people from life sciences, right? So out of in life sciences there are 606 what we can 606 employee counts are there, and 89 employees have left the company, like they have we can see the attrition count here. So only active are 517 and 15% are what we can say the attrition rate. So in this way we will give the insights to the HR department. As well as if you can see, I have added one parameter over here. So whenever I'm clicking on this, it is changing its age gap, right? So age band which we are using, like if it is 3, then it will take the age band or the bin size of 3 and it will display with respect to that this frequency chart. So with respect to the gender as well, whenever I'm clicking, it will give the data with respect to the gender as well. All right. So from this dashboard, what we can analyze is the total insight for the HR department. All right. So there are different elements on this particular dashboard. We can see I have designed a KPI card over here. Like 4 to 5 KPIs are there. Then we have a attrition by gender, overall gender, how much people's by gender, how many people are leaving the company. Then we have department wise attrition. Then we have number of employees which are working in this company, like this is what we called it as a frequency chart. This is a pie chart. Then we have a heat map, or we called it as a matrix chart as well, which gives the information about the job ratings, like what ratings the employee are giving, like 1 being the lowest and 4 being the highest, right? So then we have a field education field wise attrition in that particular education. With respect to that education field, how many people are leaving. So this is a simple bar chart. Then we have a multiple donut chart with respect to age bands, which we have how many people are living with respect to the age band, right? So we can see that in the age of 25 to 34, most of the employees are living, which is a very young age, and like having they will be having some 2 to what we can say 7 years or 8 years of experience. They are taking that and they are leaving the company. All right. So before wasting much time, we will start the design of this particular dashboard. And before that, I request you all to like this video, to subscribe my channel and share with your friends who are learning Tableau. And one more thing, like guys, I have also made a video of this particular same dashboard, same topic in Power BI software. All right. So if you guys are interested to check it out, I will add a link in the description box. You can go ahead, you can follow it, you can see how it is designed and developed. It complete video is there in Power BI how we do it. So let's start our this particular video. So for this, what I have taken, I will be taking a new sheet or a new Tableau workbook, and we will start a fresh design from here. So before that, I will show you the data which we have. So this is an XLX file, that is Excel file. It is not a CSV file. So in this we can see there are almost 14, almost around approximate 1500 rows are there. And then we have number of columns are there, like around 30, 35 to 40 columns are there. So out of this, I can say I've only used 50% of data for my what we can say design. All right. So I request you to you can obviously practice my dashboard or my what we can say charts or whatever approach I have taken. But I request you all to follow your own approach, think innovatively, try to make some beautiful insights other than which I have used. All right. So this will be a good practice for you as well. All right. So you can see this is the data which we are having. So there are so many of rows and so many of columns are there from where we can analyze or we can say we can build a beautiful visualizations. So now a very important thing, guys, before starting the design of any dashboard, whether you are doing it in any visualization tool. So before that, always remember you have to study the data first, right? So if you are studying the data, 60 to 70% of work is completed over there only. All right. So spend your like half an hour or 1 hour on studying the data, right? So this is the data I have already studied. I have already built my what we can say dashboard. So I know whatever is there in this particular data. This will be new for you. So before starting, go through the data, learn what is there in the data, what are the columns, what is it indicating, so how the data is flowing from higher level to lower level of granularity, right? So you can find some interconnections, you can find some linkage between the different columns which we have here, and with respect to that you can design your dashboard. All right. So always remember, spend some time on data. If you have well understood the data, the dashboard design is a very much easy number for, or what we can say a easy task for you. All right. So this is the data which we will be having in XLX format. So I will close this for now, and I will open our new Tableau dashboard which we have taken here. The next thing what we have to do is we have to connect to our data. All right. So there are different data connections are available. So many of connections are there. And for now, which we are connecting is a Excel file, or we can say a flat file we are using here. We are not using an SQL server. So I will be using a flat file, and we have this data, and I will click on open. All right. So you can see there is only one sheet available. We are fortunate enough that we don't have to create any relationship or any what we can see any joins over here. All right. So we have this data. You can see there are 1470 rows are there and 39 what we can say columns are there, right? So this is the metadata where we can see this is the metadata. So what is the field name, what is its data type is there, all these things. All right. And this is the data what we can see. This is a sample of data where we can see like almost 100 rows will be there, what form the data is there, whether it is correct or whether it is displaying correctly. If you want to change any of what we can say uh, data type from here, you can go ahead and you can change a data type. If you want to make some small changes or what we can say small modifications in data, you can do it here before starting your design. All right. You can change the data type from here as well. Okay. So for now our data is very much clean. We don't need any cleaning purpose for, or any cleaning is not required for this particular data. So I have already cleaned the data and it will be directly ready to use for you. Okay. So we will start building our visualization. All right. So first what we will do, we will start the design of our KPIs. Okay. So I will rename this sheet and I will use it as a KPI. All right. So before that, I will show you there are two connections whenever we go in data source, whenever we are giving a connection to a Excel file for this particular dashboard I'm saying. So there are two types of connection, that is live connection and extract connection. So it depends upon your requirement, your situation, whatever you are working on, live connection or extract connection. It is depending upon you which you have to use. If there is a large number of data is there in millions of records are there, we recommend to go with the extract connection because it gives us liberty to work offline, right? In live connection, we have to be online, and should be connected to your database continuously. So for now, I will keep it as live only. But whenever you are sharing it with your friends, with your colleagues, or anyone, go with the extract connection. Save it as a TWBX file, which is a package workbook file, where data will be there, your logic will be there, and workbook will be also there. So you can share it with your friends with data in that particular file. All right. So I will go back to my first sheet, that is the KPI. So we will start building our KPI first. All right. So the first thing what we want is the employee count. So we have a field over here. So I will directly take it and I will directly double click over here. You can see I've got the employee count. So instead of here, I will put it into I will take it out and I will put it into the text. All right. So you can see I've got my first KPI, that is 1470 is the total number of employees which we have. So if you go here in your data and if you see the employee count, let me show you that field. So this is the employee count. For each row it is giving the number as 1. Okay. So we will be taking the sum of each row. So that is, it will be adding each and every row and it will give us the count. And we saw already that the number of rows which we have is a 1470. All right. The next what we want is the attrition. Okay. So how much the attrition is there? So when we go into the data, so always remember, study the data first. I have already studied, so it is easy for me to explain you. So there is a first column that says attrition. So what does this indicates? That if it is yes, means what, that particular employee have left the company. Okay, if it is no, means he is still working in your company, right? So what we have to do, whatever wherever there is a yes, we have to take a sum of those and we will be displaying it in the form of as our second KPI, that is how many people have left the company. So what we will do, we will use a calculation field over here and we will be writing it in the form that if it is yes, give the number as 1, else we will be using it as 0, because we only have two entries over here, either yes or no. Okay, if it is yes, we will be using as 1, else, that is by default, for no it will take as 0. So we will go ahead in our sheet, we will write our first calculation field, that is attrition. Oops, spelling is wrong. All right. So this is attrition. Now we will write the formula. We will be using if else condition. If attrition, okay, if attrition is equal to yes, so put whatever we are hard coding our value, if it is in text format, so we should be putting it into double quotes or single quotes. It will work. Okay. If it is your yes, then we will keep it as 1, and if it is no, that is else, it will be 0. All right. So there are, and we have to end this. All right. Okay. So there are some calculation errors. So field attrition already exists, means what? Uh, the name of this field already exists, so we will name it as attrition count. All right. So now it is valid. So Tableau doesn't take the same name of field for two particular columns or two particular whatever the fields we will be adding it into the data pane. All right. So attrition count, we will be taking that if attrition is yes, then 1, else 0. Okay. Okay. So we can see a new column has been created or a new field has been created in this particular data, and you can see if it is if we have a small is equal to symbol before that particular data type, so it means that it has been calculated manually. Okay, means we are creating that calculation. So I will just double click over here. Okay, you can see it has been added over here. So it is in the form of rows. What we will do, we will just invert this. Okay, so by inverting our rows and columns, it will be in the form of columns. So we want the employees first, so I will just drag it up over the attrition count. So this is what we have seen, and we will make it as entire view. Okay, this is what it will fit here properly. All right. The next what we have to do is we have to find out the attrition rate. So for that, again we will write one calculation. The rate is nothing but it will be in the form of percentage. So what is the logic for that is total attrition. Okay, so how many companies have left divided by the total employee count which we have. So we will write a logic for this. So I will name it as attrition rate. Okay, and I will be using the formula. So I will aggregate it into calculation itself. So I will take the sum of attrition count divided by sum of employee count. All right, so calculation is valid. I will click OK and I will just double click. So you can see it is 0 right now. We are getting a 0 number. So we will have to change its format. So I will click on right click here on this field format. I will go into numbers and I will go on percentage and I will place it as 2 decimal points. By default it is 2. So you can see we have got one number that is 16.12%. All right. So then next is active employees. So how many people are active right now working in our company? So it is nothing but the difference between total employee count which we had before in this year minus the attrition count. Okay. So that will be our active employees. So for that I will write again the calculation field and I will name it as active employees. All right. So I will take the difference sum of employee count minus sum of attrition. Sum of the attrition count. All right. You click OK and I just double click. Okay, so we have got our active employees. So we want it after attrition rate. So I will just drag it and place it below the attrition rate. So we have got this as active employees. The last one which we want is the average age. So we have a age field over here. So I will just double click on this. So you can see it is taking the sum of age. So it will be taking the sum of each and every row, the age which we are having. So this is something what we don't want. So we will right click here, we will go in sum and we will name it as average. Okay, we will change the aggregation by right clicking in measure. By default it has taken sum, so we will change it to average. So it was giving us the average age of all the employees which we have is a 37 as the average employee age of the employee, sorry. All right, so now what next we will be doing, we will change the format of this all the what we can say, all the fields which we are having, the measures which are having. So for first I will click on format, I will go in number. So it is a number, so we don't want to give any of what we can say a custom or we can say any unit for that. Okay, so it is a number, so it obviously we will just keep it as a blank number. So and I will name it, I will keep the number decimals as 0. Why I'm doing it right now? Only because when we will take it into the dashboard and whenever we are applying some filters on it, it will change the number format. So let's say what we are doing, we are adding one filter over here. So it will be not doing, I guess, for the interactive filter, but it happens when we are using the action filters. Okay, so we are going to use education as a field over here. That is a filter. So I will put this into the filter panel. For now, I will be using all apply. Okay. So I will click on show filter. So whenever I'm clicking, you can see it is changing. But whenever I'm applying some filters over here, it is taking a decimal point as somewhere it is taking as a 2 digits, somewhere 1 digits, right? So we don't want this. So what we will do, we will make it as a round figure. So I will just click on this, right click, format in numbers, and here I will make it as 0. So you can see we have got a whole number. Similarly for next, I will just click on this, automatically it will be activated here. Or you can right click and go from format, and in number custom I will make it as 0 again. Similarly for this, for we want this in percentage only. For active employees in custom 0, for age as well, custom and 0. All right, and we will click it on all, right? All right, so this is our first KPI card which we have designed here, and the filter which we are going to use, it will be used for all the charts which we will be designing in future, right? Or in coming next in this video. So what I will do, I will just right click on this, I will apply to worksheet and all using this data source. Means whenever I will be designing any sheet further in coming time, the default filter will be automatically applied because it is at a data source level. So whenever I will drag some fields into visualization, that filter will be automatically what we can say added to that particular sheet. All right. So this is our what, the KPI design. The next chart which we will be designing is a lollipop chart, which is a custom chart. Okay. So we will take a new sheet for that, and I will name it as attrition by gender. Okay, so what this chart will give us a insight is with respect to gender, that is either male or female, how many people are leaving the company, right? So this will be a good insight for HR department. So I will take a gender over here and I will put it into rows, and I will take the attrition count calculation which we have made before, and I will place it into the columns. All right. So you can see we are by default we are getting a bar chart. So I will just increase the size a little bit. I will make it as an interview. All right. So this is a bar chart which we are getting here. So we want to make it is a custom, that is a lollipop chart. So for that we have to add a circle over here, right? So to add that we will have to make it as a dual axis chart. So to make it as a dual axis chart, what I will do, I will create one more instance of this particular measure into the columns, right? So what I will do, I will press control, I will take this field and I will drag it next to it, right? So whenever I'm pressing the control, you have to press the control continuously. And you can see below my arrow there is one small plus icon is there. It indicates that it is creating an instance of this particular field. I will release, and you can see the two instances has been created in marks card as well. We can see there are two instances created, one for this measure and one for this measure. Okay, so I will go in the second card that is for this measure and I will make it as circle. Okay, so you can see the circle has been formed. Now we have to create a dual axis chart. For this I will go in the second measure and I will right click and I will take it as a dual axis. All right. So you can see the dual axis chart has been created, but it is taking a circle for both of them. So I will go in the first one and I will change it as to bar. All right. And the next thing what we have to do is always remember guys, make it as a synchronize axis. Okay. So both the axis, both for both measures, different axis will be created. So for now we are using the same measure. So if we do the synchronization or not, it will not affect. But whenever you are working on two different measures and you are working on a dual axis chart, remember that you have to always synchronize the axis. All right. So it will be a uniform axis for both of the measure. So I will just synchronize the axis. You can see the axis has been synchronized. All right. So the next thing what we have to do is you can, if you cannot see the axis, you can just compress it, right? You can see the axis, right? So next thing what we have to do, I will show how the lollipop charts looks like. Right? So I will just increase this size, and for bar we can reduce the size from here. Okay. So this is what actually the lollipop charts looks like. Okay. So whenever we are taking this into visualization, we will have to change some modification, or we have to do some modifications over here. The next thing what we have to do is we have to give colors for this. So I will take a gender and I will put this into the colors card. Okay. Similarly here as well, in this second instance also we will put it into the colors. All right. So you can see now we have to change the color. We are using our own custom colors. So I will go in edit, and already have my colors over here. So I will just change this. What we have to do, we have to double click on this particular color. So this the box will be where there are, you can add your own custom colors. I already have my color code. I will copy this and I will paste it over, and I will click on OK, apply. Similarly for male, I will be using my own color code. So for male I will be using this V. OK, apply. Okay, all right. So this is what I will be using a color code for male and female. You can use your own colors, doesn't matter. The next thing what we will be doing is we want a number to be displayed over here. So I will take this, I will again press control and I will take this, so it will create one more instance and I will add it into the labels. So we will be adding in the second marks card. We don't want to add it for the bar chart. We will be adding it for the circles, right? And I will go into the label and for automatic, and I will make it into the center. So we want it to be displayed inside this particular circle. All right. So we have created this, we have created our second chart. All right. So now before creating our other charts, what we will do, we will start our design of dashboard side by side. Depends upon you, like how you want to display your charts. If you want to create all the sheets and then design your dashboard, or side by side you can start working on your dashboard as well. All right. So what I will do, I will start the design of dashboard for me. So I've just created a new dashboard and I will name it as HR analytics dashboard. All right. So I will be using a custom size for my dashboard. So I will just check what I've used before for my this dashboard. So I will be using it as 1580 by 900. So I will change this and I will be using it as 1580, and height I will be using it as 900. So depending upon your system resolution, right? So if your laptop is old one, the resolution it might, it will be giving you some the vertical and horizontal, what we can say, scroll lines for you to see this. So my screen resolution is different, so I can see it in my single view only. So depending upon your system, you can take your own custom size and you can design this dashboard. Doesn't matter. All right. So the next thing what we have to do is, if I show you my dashboard, you can see in behind of this dashboard, I have used some custom shapes. And there is one, what we can say, a wallpaper, or we can say a faint wallpaper behind this particular dashboard, which I have designed in PowerPoint. Okay. So the background of this dashboard has been designed in PowerPoint. So I will show you, I will open my PowerPoint here. See. All right. So this dashboard design, or the background of this particular dashboard, I have designed this into the in PowerPoint, and then I have taken this particular background and I have added it into our Tableau. So I will be using this particular, what we can say, a background. I have designed different backgrounds. So this is what I'm using, a gradient fill color with black and blue, and I have added a wallpaper behind that. So I have also created some custom designs which you can use. If you want something different, you have to use. So this is some purple and blacks, that I've also used some green colors. This is a plain background without wallpaper. So this is some different wallpaper which I've added here. Again, this is a plain background with orange and black. Then we have this black and, or light blue color. So these are some different background which I have here. So how to design these backgrounds? Okay, if you are interested to know how I have designed this background, if you want a separate video on this, do comment in the channel, do comment in this video. Definitely I will make one different video, like how we are making this background, beautiful backgrounds, how you can make your own backgrounds, right? So for now, for this video, I will not spend much time on how we are designing the backgrounds. The Tableau part is important for us. So now I will post this, the link for this particular PPT also. You don't have to worry about that. So what I will do, for this particular PPT, so whenever you have to download or we have to convert it into image, so I will go in file and I will save as, wherever you have to save as, I will save it on desktop, and I will save it as a PNG format. Okay. And I will be using, let's name it as HR background final. Okay, because I already have one saved this as a final background, or whatever in name which we have to give in PNG format. Save. It will ask if you want to save all slides. So I just don't want to save all slides. I will just say just this one. Okay. So whenever I go on export, you can see this has been converted into the PNG format. So I will be using this picture in our background of our tablet. All right. So I have already this dashboard. The next thing what I will do, I will take a image from here, the object which we have. I will drag it here. Okay. And I will just click these both options. I want to fit my image in this particular canvas which we are having, and I want to make it as a center as well. So from here you can choose your image, and this is my image which I have done. I will click on OK. Okay. So you can see it has been perfectly fitted in my dashboard pane or canvas or background. So now what we will be doing, we will be taking our all the sheets and I will place it over here in this particular whatever area which we are having for that particular dashboard. All right. So now next thing what we have to do, I will take our KPI first. So before that, before tile, I will make it as floating. Floating is nothing but we can move your chart from here to there, right? Tiled is nothing but you will be placed into that particular container and you cannot change the shape of or the size of that particular chart. All right. So that you might be knowing. So I will take the KPI and I will place it over here. All right. So we don't want this titles. I will just hide it and I will just reduce the size. Okay. I will just make it to fit over here. All right. So this is the filter. I don't want it right now. Perfect. All right. So now we will just do quick formatting over here. So I will just right click over here and I will click on format. All right. So the font which we will be using for headers is, so for headers I will be using this color, and The font I will be using it as semi bold, and font size I will make it as 15. Okay, so this is the 15, and alignment, of course, I want it as to be center. All right. So the next is for the measure. So for this measures, I will make it into the sheet itself. So next again, I will click on format. We want the background of this particular sheet as no background. So I will go in this particular shading options. In this shading options in worksheet, we will make it as none. Okay. So you can see the background has been gone for this. So we can see there is one small lines which are appeared over here. So we will get rid of that as well. So you can see there are different lines are given here from here. So you just have to say none to everyone. Okay. So they will automatically go. So you can see that has been, the row divider has been gone. Similarly, in column divider that has also gone, right? So I will just close this and I will go into this particular chart in our this particular sheet. And from here I will change this particular measures. Okay. So I will make it as 28. I will make it as tableau bold, and will make it as color as white. Okay, apply. Okay, so here you are not seeing because it is matching the background. For white color it is giving as a white, so you can see if I click here it is okay. So I will just click on text again, and inside the automatic, what we will do, we will make it as center. All right. So when you come to your dashboard again, so the formatting has been applied over here. You can see our first KPI design is been completed, and you can see how beautiful it looks, right? So depending upon your background, there are multiple backgrounds which I have kept in that PPT. You can use any, and with respect to your, you can use any font color, any font size, any font type. All right. The next thing which we will be using is attrition. So I will just take it over here. We don't. Okay, we want the title. So I will just change the title immediately. I will make it as 12. I will make it as semi bold, and I will make it a color as yellow. Apply. Okay. And we want to fit it over here. So before that, I will just get rid of this axes. We don't want the axis. I will click on show header here as well. I will deactivate the header, and I will make it as small. Okay, so for gender also we don't want it. So I will just hide the labels. All right. So we will go into our chart. You can see the circles are very much big and bar is very much small. So we will make some adjustment over here. I will increase the bar size. Okay, and I will decrease the size of this. Okay. So you can see it is looking here somewhat in sheet, it is looking funky, but on dashboard our area is small. So you can see it is looking better now. So small, I will just increase the size a little bit for a circle. Right, this is fine. So now we will quickly format this as well. Format chart, we will go again in our shading, and for work on sheet you have to go in sheet and you have to say none. All right. So then there are different grid lines over here. So we have to get rid of this as well. So I will again click on this chart. I will go into this particular lines, and from here for all the lines just you have to say none. Okay. So in rows and in columns as well. So you can see it has been gone, and we can see there is a border over here, right? So we have a border for this particular header. So we have to go in for to remove this. We have to go into these borders. All right. So and from here in rows, you have to get rid of this none. For headers, we have to say none. For pane as well. And in columns, we have to say this as well, this as well. All right. So you can see all the headers has been gone, and we can see the male and female. We have to make this as. We will click on this, and we will have to make this as a white color. Okay. So we will go in sheet. We will have to go again into our font. Okay. Then we will go in sheet, and for header from here we can give it as white color. All right. So you can see a white color has been applied over here, and we will make it as 8. 9 is better, and I will make it as a medium. Perfect. So you can see guys, this legend I will remove from here. We will be applying the legend later. So you can see guys, our first, what we can see, the strip has been designed. So we will quickly use the names also here. So for giving the dashboard name, what I will do, I will take the text and I will drag it here. I will name the text as HR Analytics Dashboard. Click on OK and I will place it over here. Alright, so just we will increase the font size. I will make it as bold, color as white, and the size at, let's say, 36. Okay. Alright, looks perfect. Okay. So this is what initial our, like say, 10 to 20% of work is already done. So in this way we have to design our dashboard guys. Formatting the charts and as well as the formatting is also important. So you can see the numbers which we have to give it here. It should be black. So I will go into this sheet. In labels I will just take these numbers. I will make it as 10 and I will make it as let's say semi bold. Okay, apply. All right, so it has been applied over here. You can reduce the size if you want some more, so I will just reduce it. I will keep it as 9 only. Right, okay. All right, so this looks good. All right, so now next is what we have to design our pie chart.